All right, guys, that was State Line Empire Serpentine here on Soundwaves TV. And look who I have with us. Who is this?
Who is this?
Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Jay. I play drums
You sure?
occasionally.
Occasionally.
What's your name?
My name is...
Kat. So Jay and Kat of State Line Empire. I kind of know these guys. I might have been intimate with this one before. He's my husband. Okay, let's just be real. Not that one. You're getting creepy. You're getting really creepy.
Back off, dude.
They were hanging out in the green room earlier, and they had mood lighting on.
Yes.
And so here's the backstory, you guys, okay? So we're at Green Room Music Center. That is the home base for Soundwaves TV, which this guy actually owns.
If you build it, they will come.
So thank you very much for allowing Soundwaves TV to be here.
Absolutely.
Did you think that your music center would ever end up being the set of a TV show?
Not at all. And we're super fortunate to support you guys. And obviously very stoked to be on the legendary, venerable Soundwave.
Yes, I love it. So you guys also rehearse here because Green Room Music Center, just so you know, selfish plug for you, has some really awesome rehearsal spaces for bands, 24-hour lockout, so people come in and play whenever they want. They kind of turn into man caves sometimes. And then also you teach a million kids lessons. You have a rock camp and all that. But one of our main rooms here is Green Room. So you guys, twice a week, you get together and you jam out. Just the two of you, or you guys and your bass player?
Is it for me?
It's for you.
Oh, wow.
It's for you.
My first question. So excited. It depends. A lot of times it's Jay and I. We'll get together and we'll work on the different arrangements for the songs.
Yeah.
And then our bass player, Hunter,
Yeah.
will come in. He's awesome. And we'll sit there and just crank it out.
And you guys are smart. You got a
We're very
18-year-old
smart.
that is
We're
a bass player.
very smart.
Loads of energy coming
Yeah.
from him. He's kind of a bass player phenom. And that's also part of the story with Green Room is you teach all these kids. So you kind of plucked him. You were like, oh, he's really good. I want him in my band, which is very smart.
We've been fortunate enough to do the rock camp for close to 12 years now,
Yeah.
I think. And he was part of the first batch. So in a sense, we kind of have a music incubator here.
Where's his picture? So his first band picture.
Oh, it might be behind
his
here.
first band picture.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
you know what?
He's in shorts and clogs.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He's going to
Hunter.
want to kill you for
Clogs.
pointing that out.
Sorry, dude.
And I remember seeing that picture when I first saw it. I was like,
he's here.
what is this guy thinking?
So all these pictures that you see back here
Yeah.
are all of rock camps
Yeah,
that have
yeah.
happened here.
That's him right there. He's in Fate's hands.
Oh, my God. In Fate's hands, that's little Hunter, the bass player for
so
State
this
Line
guy-
Empire.
the horns out.
So this guy tells me, he says, hey, so I have this guy that I think would be really good. I'm like, who is it? Because, people come in and you're just like, oh, guy's just not going to work. And he says, oh, it's this kid. He's really good. Hunter. He went through my program.
Right.
And I'm like, the kid with the clogs? Really? That guy? And so I'm like, isn't he like 6? And he came in and he was just extremely professional and eager and picked up the songs. We had a gig, I think, with, was it Puddle Mud?
Yeah.
They were playing with that night, and he picked up the songs in like a day or two. He
Wow.
was just ready to go, and he had tons of energy, and in all honesty, one of the most professional people I've ever worked with.
Wow, that's incredible. And he was, what, 16 when he started with you guys?
16 or 17.
Yeah.
Good
that's
dude,
amazing.
good family.
Yeah, he's an awesome.
And then your
He's an
singer,
awesome dude.
Tyson, lives
Yes.
down in Los Angeles.
Yes,
So
he
that's
does.
kind of an interesting dynamic. I mean, having a singer living so far away and all of that. So he just sort of keeps his vocals going by doing other stuff down there and practicing on his own. And then you guys, maybe rehearse a few times before your gigs? If that.
Not at all, really. I mean, we have, it's one of those things, and I think a lot of people work that way. For us, it was always kind of that way.
Yeah.
And I think that we just got used to working with that distance. So what that meant was, we would send files over there. We'd have the arrangements worked out in a way where he could rehearse that on his end.
Right.
And we're rehearsing here. So then when we go to the gig, it mostly works out.
It mostly works out, right? That's always the case.
It mostly works out.
That's cool. So you guys have a really rich history. We're going to play another video from you guys, and we're going to come back, and he's got 2 mics now. We're going to talk about the fact that you have worked with Slash from Guns N' Roses. You've worked with Clink, big-time producer as well, Sylvia Massey of Tool. So there's a lot to talk about there. But first, it's State Line Empire with Cut on Soundwaves TV. That was Cut from State Line Empire here on Soundwaves TV. Still chatting with these 2 yahoos. Having a lot of fun, though. You guys have a really amazing, rich history. You started your band by winning a contest that Guitar Center put on to have Slash play on your album. Yeah, the Slash, the hatted one, the great hatted one from Guns N' Roses. Tell us a little about that.
You want the whole story, the short story?
The shortest story.
Shortest story is... we had just disbanded a project, and that's actually where I met Jay for the first time. Mm-hmm. I think we've been working together for like 11 years at this point.
I was doing some session work for his old project, which was Drist.
The first time I meet this guy, he has this massive like muscle on the side of his hand.
It's true. You should
drumming.
Show that.
So like, show that.
Show it to the it's a weird muscle, drummer muscle.
So first time, true story. First time we meet, we're sitting on the stairs, very similar to this. And Jay takes out his hand and he says, "Dude, touch it." Touch it, dude.
Touch my muscle. Wow, this got weird and awkward fast.
Just touch it. And I look at him. And I look at him and I'm like, my God, is that a tumor on your hand? And he's like, touch it.
I put my glove back on.
He put his glove back on. So we've been working together for a long time. But that band went away, disbanded. And we kept writing. We had a chemistry together. We kept writing. And around the same time, a contest opened up. Mm-hmm. And, none of us were really that into a contest type thing, but we figured that it would be a really good way to get free marketing for ourselves, to put songs out there, to get people to hear stuff. Because basically we were going to be on Guitar Center's platform at that point, and they were going to be blasting these songs out. So I was like, this is really cool. We can have free promo for this new project, which didn't even have a name yet. I
was going to say, you guys, let's just stress that. You guys were barely a band at this point.
Barely a band. We had written Drive Me, and we had written, I think another, I don't remember the name of the other song. Jay, at that point, was still doing a lot of fill-in stuff for us. Mm-hmm. So it was just kind of scattered, and it wasn't really solidified. So we put this stuff out there, and we ended up winning.
You won against 12,000 bands that entered. I mean, that was a massive win for you guys.
It was a massive win. And we're like, that was really unexpected and cool. So we get the call from Slash, and
Slash actually called like your cell phone.
Yes, called us and his manager, and they said, "Hey, you guys are opening up for us in 4 weeks."
And that's where you crap your pants, and then you get a plan together.
Well, we had 2 songs, and we needed to come up with a full 30-minute set in 4 weeks to play in front of Slash. So thankfully, Jay at that point came in, and we put everything together, and the rest is really just history. We made a lot of cool contacts. As you said, we worked with Clink. And
so just so you know, Clink, he is the guy who produced, you might have heard of it, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
So he is a massive producer. He's an interesting character, to say the least.
Yes, we worked with him. We also worked with James Michael.
Yeah.
And we worked with John Corabi, who was in Motley Crue for a brief stint.
Yeah, James Michael, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Huge songwriter.
So we got to work with a lot of cool people. That contest and the experience in itself really opened up a lot of doors for us. And we've been able to keep those contacts and continue to work with a lot of those people in different capacities over this whole time. So it's been really cool.
It's all about networking in this industry, right? Yeah.
And Mike Clink, if you're listening, we're waiting on the next batch of Meatloaf.
Oh, yeah, his famous Meatloaf. I always hear about the Meatloaf from Mike Clink. So of course, you guys have worked together for a long time. You've been in the industry here in the Bay Area specifically for a very, very long time. How do you feel about the scene? I know you were here when things fell apart for the local music scene around the .com era. So how do you feel about it now, like where we're headed in 2018?
I think it's, well, let's backtrack just a little bit. In the 90s, the digital gold rush came, and housing prices went up, and all the rehearsal spaces got shut down.
Right.
And it did kill a lot of the scenes. A lot of places to play got shut down as well. So I do feel like that there are new places opening up right now. New in Oakland as well, like Cornerstone.
Yeah,
and,
great venue.
Yeah, and then a lot of the staples are still around. So I think it comes down to having places to play and outlets for your art. You know, people that are still here and that are slugged it out have continued to, add to the musical history of this area. You know, it's steeped in many different eras. You know, going back to the '60s and the Renaissance too in the 90s as well.
Yeah. Well, I think what it comes down to is venues and people coming out to shows. Yes. You need to support your local musicians.
Get off of Netflix.
Exactly. Yeah. Put your phone down, get off the couch and all of that, and go out and support local musicians because they work their tushies off. Is that fair to say? So you guys are, of course, on all the socials. You get a ton of views on all of your videos, which are fantastic, by the way. So hit us up on the socials. Are you State Line Empire across the board?
StatelineEmpire.com is the hub for everything.
The hub. I like that. The hub. Yes.
Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and all the other goodness.
Yeah. Very easy to find. Just Google State Line Empire and you will run across them. So we've got Jay. We've got Kat of State Line Empire here on Soundwaves TV. Thank you guys so much for being here. Can I get a high five? Boom. Oh, that was awkward. That was awkward.